Good afternoon. It's 1 o'clock and time for the St. John Daily Word. I'm Pastor Ronald and I welcome you this afternoon. We have some announcements, and instead of a devotional today, we're going to have a conversation with Wendy Lane from Blessman International Ministries that works in South Africa. So first to the announcements. We want to remind you that we have Sunday services at 7:45 and 9:30 a.m. with the live stream of the 9:30 service. We also want to remind you that there's a weekly update email comes to your email box on either Thursday or Friday. Madison Mindtech, one of our creative communications persons, puts that together. It's sort of like a mini newsletter so that you get to know what's coming up in the next week. We want to remind you Faith and Fitness meets every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. in the Fellowship Hall, unless we announce that it's not meeting, and that's been growing again. But come and work out. I think it's kind of funny. One of our gentlemen came to it. Mostly it's been women coming to that. But one of the gentlemen came to it, and he's like, man, they worked me hard. I said, are you going back? He said, yes, but they worked me hard. And it reminded me of something I saw where some Division I college athletes went to a Pilates class, and they were burned out. They were just really had struggles. But that Faith and Fitness is every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. You can sponsor the flowers on the altar, and the flower chart is posted in the narthex. It's $20 per arrangement, and you can sponsor that and then take the flowers home after service. I want to let you know that SPRC will be meeting Tuesday, February 10th at 7 p.m. in the Education Building. That's the first of this year, so all the new members come. And be a part of that meeting. They'll go over their training. It won't be a really long meeting, I don't anticipate at this point, but it is an important and required meeting. St. John 101 will not be meeting this Tuesday. It was announced in the newsletter, but we're postponing. I know Madison put canceled, but it's postponed till early March. Fellowship breakfast, Wednesday, February 11th at 8 a.m., and they're going to have waffles and eggs and bacon and stuff to put on the waffles. I think he said fresh strawberries and blueberries and things like that. Come and be a part of that. Pastor Pete will lead the devotional. Pastor Dorman's going to be out of town, and I'm going to be out of town as well. And so Pastor Pete is up, and he'll bring something, he said, from his garage. He knows about doing something special that way. Come to that meeting, especially if you're involved in Treasure Trove, because there'll be a leadership of Treasure Trove staff meeting and sales staff meeting Wednesday at 9:30 or after the meeting. Excuse me. So call Myron if you have any questions, but that's scheduled for 9:30. He may do it a little early as long as folks are there. Grief Share. Find support at Grief Share. If you have suffered a loss in the last 6 months or so, we invite you to come to Grief Share. It is a wonderful ministry that helps people to process grief and to understand grief, and that all your responses thus far are normal. They are absolutely normal. And so we encourage you to come and be a part of that. Ash Wednesday services are Wednesday, February 18th at 12 noon and at 7 p.m. in person only. We're not doing that online, but we are doing that and hosting that in person here at church. I want to let you know about Parkway Food Ministries. We do receive food. We're intending on continuing with them. If you were in church yesterday or watched online, I announced that Dale Hollowell, the founder and director of Parkway Food Ministry, had a tragic car accident, but it was precipitated by a heart attack, and he is on life support as far as we know. That word I received this week, late in the week, happened last Monday, and they were trying to contact family and get a hold of that so that they could make some decisions. He is not expected to survive. He is expected to live the life eternal with his beloved Jesus. And so please be in prayer for Pastor Dale and for that ministry as well. We have Wendy Lane here with us from Blessman International, and Wendy's going to talk about the ministry there, and I'm going to ask a couple of questions here. We're just going to have a conversation. And so Wendy, welcome.
Thank
and
you.
I know you shared in church on Sunday, and we did an offering, and I don't know how much yet. That's being counted today, and we'll send that on to you in Iowa, where it is. She said it was a warm day here in Florida coming from Iowa.
Yes, absolutely.
But it is not as warm as where you were 2 weeks ago, right? Or a week and a half ago.
Well, yeah, because I was in Africa, and it's summer in Africa right now, so it was in the 80s.
Do they really experience winter where
Not-
Blessman is?
Yeah, not really. I mean, they call it winter, but it's like in the 50s.
Oh, well,
So-
that surprises
It's a
me.
Florida winter.
It's a Florida winter. A Florida normal winter.
Right.
We have not had a normal winter here recently, as our folks can attest to. So tell us about Blessman and about Dr. Blessman and his wife who founded this mission.
Yeah, so Dr. Blessman was a medical doctor in the Des Moines area for 35 years. He had a practice there, and when he turned 50, God called him to become a missionary. So he left and sold his medical practice and became a medical missionary, him and his wife, Beth, and they traveled all over the world doing that. And when they were in South Africa, they were realizing that a lot of the medical needs were founded from malnutrition. So they settled in South Africa and started a robust feeding program, which is one of our biggest programs. So they've settled in South Africa. We've been in South Africa for 25 years now in the Limpopo region, which is 2.5 hours north of Johannesburg. Limpopo is one of the poorest regions in South Africa. I think you'd mentioned that there is a 70% unemployment rate. 40% of children don't finish school in that area, and food and water are very scarce.
Wow. And I know that you all work with a school. It's not your school, but you're connected with it. Is that the case?
We have an after-school program, and it is part of our ministry. It's called the Del Kramer Children's Campus. And we serve a few hundred children in a village outside of the city of Mokopane. And children come there after school, so we serve them hot meals every single day. And then we have other programs there as well. We have a Sports for Christ program. We have after-school tutoring, which is huge because schools start teaching in English only in 4th grade. So a lot of kids from these villages and homes that only speak Sepedi, which is the local language in that area, the kids end up falling behind because they don't know English, and again, that contributes to the 40% of kids not finishing school.
Right.
So so our after-school program, we feed kids, they have access to water and toilets. We have the Sports for Christ program, and then which they practice netball and soccer, a very positive atmosphere, Christian-based, of course, and then they get that after-school tutoring as well.
Okay. And I know you dig wells, too. So why don't you run through just some of the ministries that Blessman does?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There is a lot.
So our feeding program is huge. So we have 10 hubs throughout the country of South Africa that we distribute food to, and then they distribute food to anywhere between 100 and 300 different schools and programs where they feed kids. So that's how we feed nearly 50,000 kids.
It's just unbelievable.
Yes, but the need is so much greater than that. So we also drill wells, and we drill wells at preschools or daycares. They call them creches over there. It's usually between the ages of like 0 and 5. And we drill wells there because those are the most vulnerable children, or the most vulnerable group of people in a community are children. And so then they have access to clean water. We also install drip irrigation gardens.
And the wells have to be really deep, right?
Yeah. So anywhere from a few thousand to, I think one of our wells recently was 90,000 feet. Yeah.
90,000 feet. That is amazing. Is it just
Compared to Florida, because the water table here is like what,
6 feet?
Yeah, maybe.
On a good day.
Yeah. So it's, that's why water's so scarce. And otherwise, I mean, there is no access to water. People don't have like running water in their homes or anything like that. So,
Or clean water.
or yes, exactly. So women usually, because the unemployment rate's so high, women usually are home during the day, and they will take a wheelbarrow and they will take that to the nearest water source, whether they have to pay for water, whether it's a river, and fill up containers.
That are not the most sanitary.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's something we realized because we drilled these wells that gave access to the community. To every well that we drill, people in the community have access to it. They were bringing the containers to fill the clean water up in these containers that were full of mold all over in the inside of them, which is defeating the whole purpose of having clean water.
Right.
Yeah.
So that makes an impact on the local health.
Oh, absolutely.
And I would imagine even on the local economy, because
Yes.
if you are fit, if you're being fed, if
Yeah.
if you're having enough liquid in you, you can work. You can physically do work where you maybe couldn't do as much before.
Right. We've seen in the areas where we've drilled, like I said, we've drilled over 100 wells now. And it's not like we just drill it and we leave and whatever. Like we check on these wells. We actually have an active water meter on each one of the wells that counts how much water they're using, so we can monitor if there's ever a problem. But each of these preschools, they end up tripling in size after we drill a well in the area.
They want to bring the kids to get the water.
Right.
And you told a story on Sunday that I'm still thinking about, and that is that what we take for normal and a necessity is toilet paper.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Well, it is, and it's a little thing that, like, I mean, I was shocked that I didn't know this. So I was at a high school. They were having an assembly, and it was a nicer high school. All the students were in uniform. There's about 1,000 students. And the principal made an announcement that they decided with leadership that they were going to start putting toilet paper in the bathrooms. And the whole school erupted in cheers.
Way better
Teenagers.
than the Super Bowl and all of this kind of
That's,
stuff.
I
Yeah.
literally, I was just stunned. First of all, because these are teenagers, right? So it's
Right.
not like, I mean, you know, obviously teenagers here in the States have different things going on, but like these are still teenagers, you know?
Sure.
To think that teenagers are cheering like that over having access to toilet paper, something that is essential to us,
Right.
is something that they don't even have access to.
Yeah. When I was in college, the college I attended had kids from all over the world. We had missionary kids because it was a Christian liberal arts college, but we also had people who came from developing nations. And I remember there was this friend. There were two things about him. One, they overdrew their checking account because they didn't understand their banking, and they're like, and I've heard this from people before in other places, even Americans. What do you mean you bounced my check? I still have checks in my checkbook. No, money in your account. But the other thing is they came in and they loaded up their grocery cart because they were fearful that the fresh fruit and vegetables wouldn't be there the next day, because that's what it was like in their country. Whereas somebody said, no, come back every day it's like this.
Yeah.
We have such bounty we don't get and don't understand.
Absolutely.
Now I'm excited because when I go to the general conference, I'm going to go and do the extension. And tell us a little bit about the missions trips that you sponsor. You're doing a special one for the Global
Yeah.
Methodist from Florida, and I think in the upper Midwest area.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about what happens at one of those
Yeah.
trips normally.
Well, as I shared on Sunday that I went on a mission trip and it transformed my entire life. And just real quick, before I go around and I try to encourage people to go on mission trips with us, but I say, even if you don't come with us, go to a third world country. It will change the way you see the entire world. That's what happens when a lot of people go on mission trips with us. They get to go to Africa. And first of all, South Africa is a beautiful country. It really is like
And very far.
I know, it's a 17-hour flight from Atlanta to Johannesburg.
I know.
You'll be fine. That's how you get there. But once you get there, yeah, we have a beautiful lodge. It's called the Lodge of Dreams that we host people in. It's kind of a safari-style lodge. So it's not like people are sleeping like on the floor on mats or anything like that. We want
Good,
people
because
to,
my back can't take it.
yeah, well, and we want people to be comfortable because our days are kind of long. I mean, we go out and do outreaches in these villages. So basically, we, have people come to our Del Kramer Children's Campus, and they help with our feeding program and serving kids the food, sometimes even cooking the food.
Yeah, that won't be me cooking. I'll help
you
serve.
can serve.
My wife has to instruct me on how to boil water.
Yeah, we'll make sure the ladies in the kitchen stay in the kitchen and you can be outside serving. Yeah. We do, as I mentioned, the Girls Empowerment Program. We distribute menstrual hygiene kits. So usually a team will be able to go to a school and help distribute the kits to girls. We have an optical outreach where you are very briefly trained on how to test people's eyes for reading glasses, and we're able to give glasses to people that haven't been able to see before. Right. So that's incredible. We have a shoe outreach where we go into schools and we take away their worn out shoes and we give them brand new shoes, and in that you get to wash their feet and pray with them. A lot of our outreaches, the important part of it is the one-on-one time you get to spend with people, and that's what I've noticed and seen every time I've gone over there is you can do and do and do, but being present with somebody and giving them your attention. You came all the way from the United States to come and spend time with these people, and it sounds kind of like whatever. It means the world to them. Literally, somebody all the way in the United States cares so much that they got on a plane and rode 17 hours to drive 2.5 hours north to come and talk to me. Yeah. It means everything to them, to pray with them. I mean, they will say over and over, this is such a blessing that you came to see me.
I had a friend who went to another place, and she had to do like planes, trains, an automobile. I mean, all kinds of modes. She rode in the back of a dump truck to go. And she kept saying to the folks, you have so little and you have faith in Jesus. And it was so wonderful. And they responded to her, no. We don't have anything but Jesus. We have to rely on Jesus. We marvel at your faith that you have so much and you're willing to leave that and come and talk to us about Jesus. It just broke her down in tears.
Absolutely.
And it gets me every time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that part. There's some things I'm not looking forward to, but and when I say that is my wife wants me to take pictures of whatever I eat because I'm a very picky eater. But
luckily on our trips, a lot of the meals are very westernized.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
And you'll have the opportunity to eat game meat, wild game meat, but they also have like steak.
Oh, good.
But it might not taste exactly like steak here in the U.S.
I understand
You know, it's so funny. It's not funny. Well, so I went to a grocery store in the city of Mokopane, and like it's a nice grocery store, kind of like Publix, right? It's like they have a nice grocery store there for the people that can afford to buy their groceries there, right? Yeah. So like then you have these villages where people like don't even have cars and can't get to food. But in the cities, it's very westernized. Right. And I went there with a missionary couple, and they were looking for ground beef. And they were like, so we noticed that the ground beef didn't really taste like ground beef, so we read the ingredients on it, and it said like 60% ground beef and then like 40% like soy protein. And I was trying to help them find 100% ground beef in the grocery store, a nice grocery store like Publix. We couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it, yeah.
Yeah. Oof. So it's like stuff like that where it's like, so they have McDonald's, they have KFC is a big thing, but like it might not taste, the KFC I've heard is much better than the one in the U.S. The McDonald's, maybe steer clear of that.
Yeah, I've kind of heard that. Yeah, my wife and I were in Israel, and we saw the Golden Arches as we went by. But the guide told us it's not quite the same.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and actually my wife asked what she was eating in our first meal there, and it was a hotel, and there was a Palestinian who was our waiter, and his English was limited, and this is what he said to us: Jewish hamburger. And I lean over to my wife, lamb.
Oh, okay.
Which is what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Yeah, I've heard there would be some other things.
We have peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, good.
Always accessible.
Good.
If you need that.
Yeah, that could be my mainstay. So what can we most do for you? I know that we did an offering. We're sending that along.
Yeah. We're so thankful
Tell us
for
about
that.
the bags
Yeah.
for the girls.
Yeah.
I guess that goes to girls. the
Yes.
bags. Okay.
Yeah. So our Girls Empowerment Program is washable menstrual pads that we distribute to girls because they don't have access to disposable ones. And something really, just a little side story, when I was over there a couple weeks ago, I was invited into a home, and it was one of the nicer homes in the village. And I remember going into the living room, and it wasn't like a living room like we know it. It was an empty room that had a few red plastic chairs in it. So there was like no comfort, there was no couches. It was like a place of shelter, a place of existence. So that made me really see that these washable menstrual pads are definitely being used by these girls. Because what happens is during their periods, they don't have supplies. They end up staying home from school, falling behind, sometimes dropping out entirely. 20% of girls have to repeat 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. So what we're doing is we distribute these washable menstrual pads and giving them the same opportunity as the boys, the opportunity for a future. We have a sewing center on our campus in South Africa where we train local ladies how to sew, giving them jobs and giving back into the community. They sew the menstrual pads there, and what we're doing is partnering with churches in the U.S. to sew the purses that we put the pads into. So that's ways that ladies, if they're interested in sewing, they can contribute by helping us sew the purses that the pads go into. Also, we figured out it cost about $20 per pad kit that we give out. One of those lasts 3 years, so nearly the entire high school. Yes,
experience.
exactly, for a girl. So our motto is $20 keeps a girl in school.
That's very little to keep somebody in school.
It's
But it
such
changes
a
a
gift.
life.
It's something you don't think about. Again, it's something we don't think about. We'd never even realize, like, wait, what? They don't have that? And then they don't go to school because they don't have it, right?
$20 won't cover lunch for two people here in the
Exactly.
States. Yeah.
Right.
At a halfway decent restaurant. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you're sending the plans to my wife Janine,
Yes,
and we will
yep.
download those. And we have a bunch of people who sew and people who are in quilting guilds, and they'll put that. What we'll do is we'll put those together. We'll figure out how to fund it as well.
Thank
from
you.
St. John.
Thank you. That's and even like
And I may take some bags with me to
When you go to South Africa.
Right. Well, certainly we'll try and have some for somebody representing Blessman at annual conference.
oh, wonderful.
Because that's the other thing is what's exciting for us is you are an approved Global Methodist
Yes.
Ministry partner.
Yes.
You're not exclusively Global Methodist.
That's
You work with other denominations as well. But then you are, but in addition to that, South Africa itself is a partnership with the Florida Annual Conference, and Blessman is one of our preferred ways of ministering with. In fact, I've got friends who are leading a tour, or not a tour, they're leading a missions trip in May, I think it is.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, they tried to get me to go. I was like, I'm going later.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, we just built a church last year. It's called.
Yeah, that's the other thing is
yeah.
you do church planting there.
Yes,
too.
right. Yeah, so Hope Christian Church is a global Methodist church that we built and had planted in our area. And that's a phenomenal, you'll get to see it when you go there. I mean, it's just beautiful. And the services there, it is not like anything you experience here in America. I mean, you got kids dancing. The joy these people have for Jesus, it's untouchable. Like, it just really is. It will make you weep seeing these people dance and sing for Christ.
What is the faith of an average person in South Africa? Is it animism? Is it different
So
tribal god type things?
Christianity is the biggest faith in South Africa. However, there are like some like ancestral stuff that's added into a lot lot of it that
Okay. So
doesn't match.
It's called syncretism, where they took stuff
Yes,
and kind of watered
exactly.
it down and
Yeah,
changed it.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're light in darkness as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And how many times have you been to South Africa?
I've been over there 4 times, and like I said again, every time I go over there, I'm humbled. I really am. And I think one of the interesting things is sometimes we're like, we're going to go over there, especially as Americans, it's like, we're going to go over there and like serve these people in need, right? They need us. We need to show them how things are done. We need to show them our faith. And what happens is they do have drastic needs over there, but you'll take away a lot more of
They'll
learning.
meet some of our needs.
Yes, like learning how to have joy when you have nothing, like you were just talking about earlier, and have like the faith of these people, because they're not so distracted by everything. So they teach us a lot too.
Well, I'm not looking forward to the long trip to get there, but I am looking forward to see it. Janina's not going with me, but I will be able to send her a lot of pictures back
She'll
and
be there in
forth.
spirit. You
She'll
can
be
send
there in
her,
spirit.
yeah, if she likes giraffes. We have giraffes
She
on our
loves
property.
giraffes.
You gotta come, Janine.
Yeah,
There's-
there's
there-
a place at Disney World we've stayed in the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and you can go out and see the giraffes at night, and she likes doing that.
So they have giraffes on our property that are wild giraffes that are in our area. We have lots of like incredible wildlife. We have
And
a
it's
zebra.
right next to a preserve too, right? Or near
Yeah,
a preserve.
it's near a preserve, but we also have, I mean, so we went on this photo safari tour.
I'm gonna do that
few
too.
days. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's incredible. I mean, we saw like rhinos and hippos, but like they were like, oh, look, giraffes. And I was like, I don't need to see those. We have those on our property. I walk with those every day. Like every morning I go on a walk and the giraffes walk with me.
I think I
so.
fed one time at Busch Gardens.
They
Their
have
tongue
purple
is rather
tongues.
rough.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what can we most pray for? Because that's the other part that we can do.
Yeah. So we have had an issue, and we talked about it last year, with getting food that's been donated to us into the country of South Africa. One of our biggest donors is Meals from the Heartland. They're packaged meals that are packaged in the Midwest. Convoy of Hope is a partner of ours. They shipped the food over last February or March last year. The Border Patrol decided that they didn't like the packaging on our meals and would not let them into the country. So for the past year, we've been battling, trying to redesign the package, sending it back and forth, getting approval, and then we print it, and they said, no, it needs this now, and we've had a lot of back and forth. So what happened is we weren't able to get food into the country, because normally all that food's donated to us. We don't have a fund.
Cost.
Yes, exactly. We don't have the funding to just go buy the food because it was given to us. So we raised money last year to buy food in country, but I mean, we still can't meet the need of the amount of food that has been shipped to us, which is like 28 containers, shipping containers full of food per year is what we get.
Goodness.
So, I mean, that's like tons and like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands
And
of
it's
meals.
preserved so that it can
Yeah,
be...
yes, yeah, it's like pantry. It's rice, and it has a soy protein in it, and then like vegetable mix and mineral and like vitamins and stuff. So prayers for the labeling to be approved, to be able to get that food coming back into the country, because what happened is we had to kind of not stop our feeding programs, but we had to get them down to only feeding 2 days a week as opposed to feeding 5 days a week.
And you're still feeding 50,000 kids
Yes,
2 days a week.
yes,
That is tremendous need.
yeah, yes, absolutely, 2 days a week as opposed to 5. So I mean, that's huge. So prayers for that to get through, for the food to get through.
And if I recall, on Sunday you said that may be the only meal those kids get.
That's exactly right.
So what are they doing the other 5 days? We don't know.
I don't know. I don't
Wow.
know. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Plus the stress on the family unit.
absolutely. I mean, especially when you are a family that can't afford food and you depend on your child getting that meal and then they don't get the meal. What do you do?
Wow, it's amazing. Now, a side question
Sure.
that popped into my head. Do the families have to pay for their education? Because in some countries, which we find public education, they still have to pay.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's something we don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure about that. Possibly, but yeah, I can't answer that
Yeah,
for sure.
it's hard stuff, but
Yeah.
difficult stuff.
Yes.
Well, we will continue to look at ways that we can work with you. We're on your mailing list now, I think.
Yeah,
And we're excited about the work that you are doing there. We dug a well one time in Africa, and it cost I can't remember now if it was $4,000 or $6,000. We raised that and did that. Tell them how much a well costs now.
It costs $12,500, and
a lot of
you know,
money.
I talked about how deep we have to drill
Yeah.
too. So I mean, that's part of the water table is just so deep. But I mean, this is we figure that one well touches 1,000 lives. So that's 1,000 people throughout the community that have access to clean water now because of a well.
In the video you showed, it looked like the well had just been dug and it was shooting up
Yeah,
like,
yep.
like an oil well.
Yes, that's actually.
And the kids were playing in the water.
Yeah, that's actually what we do when we drill a well. We have it shoot up like that, and yeah, it's quite a scene.
And where I grew up in New Jersey, every once in a while on a very, very hot day, the fire department would go out and open up a hydrant and kids would play in that. My parents didn't let me. We had a pool, but I just remember seeing that and going, wow.
You know, isn't it neat though that you can like contrast that with like
Yeah.
that's what it made you think of.
Right.
A fire hydrant. Of course it has water, and like you said, you have a pool, and you never even think about the not having access to water.
Yeah.
And like this well is like their only access to water.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Wendy, and I wish you safe travel. She's
Yeah.
heading back later today to Iowa, where it's probably like 4 degrees.
I wish I could stay here,
Yeah,
honestly.
you know.
Enjoying your ladies' Bible study. It sounds amazing.
That wasn't even the Bible study. That was Ladies First Friday.
Oh, okay,
They just
okay.
do a different program, and then
Yes.
they do Monday night Bible studies. Men are doing one right now as well. Then I do a Tuesday Bible study. We have a lot of interest here. The Daily Word here. During COVID, we did this every day, 6 days a week. We
Wow.
didn't do it on Sunday. Now we call it the Daily Word, but it's Monday, Tuesday's Bible study, so it's Monday and Thursday because we just have to. My brain feels like it's coming out of the computer sometimes
bet.
when we're doing all of this.
Yes.
And but this is a loving congregation, and I know that you were well received on Sunday. Folks have been talking about it. They were talking about it at the door as we exited. And I know that the offering, they're counting it up today, and we'll let you know, but I know it was pretty good. So
Thank you so much. I mean, everything helps in so many ways. So we
I
like
understand
appreciate
that.
it so
I
very
understand
much.
that, and we want to bless you too. I want to remind our folks, though, too, what I say every day, that we do this, and that is that God loves you, this church loves you, I love you as your pastor, and we're going to pray for Wendy right now and blessman. Let us pray. God, we ask that you would watch over Wendy, bring her back safely to Iowa, and then back to South Africa when she next goes. We pray for the ministry that Blessman does, and that and for us partnering alongside as a church, as a denomination, and as an annual conference. We are privileged to do this, to change people's lives, to bring the gospel, and to make it real for folks. We demonstrate by our good works, not our desire to go to heaven, but by our good works, we show God's love in action. And we give you thanks and we praise you. And we ask, oh Lord, that you will bless men, and that they will make a true difference in South Africa. We pray these things in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. God bless you. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon in Bible study. Bye now. Thanks for being with us.